What's going on, guys? We're going to get quick right into this. We'll give a quick roles shout out. How does it work here? If you can see it on the screen, if you haven't been here, here's what's going on. You can jump into the green room in the Pantheon PlusYou Discord, Pantheon Plus Discord, Pantheon PlusYou section. You can type !Discord to join the Discord. Please jump into that green room. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about some of the stuff we saw and all the news around it and everything else going on in the world. We may or may not have a very big announcement, which is the worst tease in the world. But with that said, everybody's been waiting long enough. What is up? I'll give you guys a shout out in the chat here once we start. Let's get this show started.
Oh, we're live? We're streaming right now? Cool. Awesome, man. Let me just
Hello, everybody. Minus here from Pantheon Plus, and let me get a couple things going here. So you guys know how it works. We're going to be doing the meter tonight. You'll have just me chatting about some of the things that occurred, and then we'll get into the green room. We really need people in the green room tonight. Let's get it going, and I'm really hoping I'll be able to share some pretty exciting stuff with you. Now, real quick, let me get a poll started. You guys will see a poll firing up on the screen, and you guys will be able to vote on the actual show what you thought and help move that meter, not just the people who come into the green room. So that'll be good stuff. So let me start that up. We'll start with the elephant in the room, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to talk about it, but well, let's be real here. It stinks that we didn't get to see that footage, but we are going to get some high quality footage, I hope. And that's actually good news. And they're actually going to get that out for us tomorrow. So listen, bad stuff's going to happen when it comes to streaming, guys. That's just how it works. Okay, so you guys should see the poll on the screen there. That is up. You guys can see how to vote. It's written right next to it in the parentheses. So you guys can ! Vote space great space average space unhappy. And you'll see it actually update live as you do it. Tonight we'll be talking about the stream. We'll be talking about some of the stuff we saw. I actually do have some of the video footage of the animation. So we'll be able to actually go through that. Show some stuff again, have people ask what they thought of it, and we'll talk about some other things as well. Now, I will tell you guys I'm jumping back and forth between the Pantheon Plus Discord as well as some private messages, because I do have something that may go live during this show, and if it does, let's see what happens, right? So we might have some news here on Pantheon PlusYou. All right, so let's get into animations. That was really the bulk of this. I think it was exciting. Let's not let the negative of the stream issues get us down. I'm sure none of us expected to see in-game footage, and we almost got it, and we are going to get it tomorrow. So that's still really good news, right? Like, that's my opinion on it. Yes, I'm super positive. Yes, it was a little disappointing not seeing it, but tomorrow we're going to get that. And I was poking, like, can we get it in 4K? Can you guys put it up in 4K, right? So, like, I may poke later about that. Like, guys, do it in 4K. It's a good makeup. So hopefully we see really good footage. It'll be better than stream quality footage. We'll all have that tomorrow to check out. So I'm excited to see that tomorrow. And then I'll judge it from there. So let's get to the animations up on the screen. I'm going to show you guys this. We're going to go through some of the animations, and it's just a video. You guys can see my mouse here. It's tough when you have to go from a show to this really quickly. So you may see that happen from time to time where I have to pause the video or jump in. So I'm going to run this because this will just kind of start with the monk abilities. And this is the first thing that we saw, right? So the cool thing here that really stood out to me in this is that the floating combat text is pretty solid. It's clean. And the combat hits are pretty nice. And as the speed, like they were talking about the speed of it, I think it looks really cool how it's very smooth as it speeds up. What do you guys think of that? I thought that this was really nice animation. And if this is the standard we can expect from like the rest of the animations, then I think personally we're going to be in really good shape with this. So I really, really liked this. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to number 2. We do have Drac and Neff are in the green room. Jump into the green room if you want to come chat and talk about some of the stuff here, please. Mr. Cake Donuts, thank you for the subscription, buddy. I appreciate that. And the great Vivdini, I appreciate 4 months. You've been with us for a while, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and jump ahead. We're going to go to, this is the healing, sort of like an AoE healing effect. Now, if you don't know, if they weren't describing kind of the casting interruption that we'll see in the next one or how the speed of this goes, watch this bar at the bottom. You'll see my mouse. Notice how sometimes he just casts, right? And the full cast goes off and then the full animation goes off. But notice how sometimes, watch right here, he's going to cast. It's coming up right here. I apologize. Right there. And he starts casting immediately so that it kind of just gives a small back down to like where he's casting again. And then he explodes into it. So it allows you to, it's like fluid animations is what they were kind of calling it. But if you notice, it's you just watch this cast bar. That's going to tell you once he's casting and it starts to do the actual full animation, it goes right back quickly into the casting, which is nice. That's actually really important for look and feel. If you didn't catch that, that's super, super important. So that's really good. The third animation was the heal over time. So let's talk about that right here. So you can see the hots popping up on everybody. So the big splash is the putting the hots on everyone. And then when he does just the hand up is when he rushes it all. So that's hots on everything. And then the hand up here, you'll see the big numbers. It finishes it and refreshes. So that's pretty neat. It's like an instant cast. So it's not a huge animation. So you do the cast on it and then hand up. So that's that. And again, guys, we'll get to you guys, listen to what you guys have to say. We'll get into the chat a lot more than I am now. I just want to run through these animations real quick here and talk about them. So the next one was this. This is actually, I have a feeling a lot of people probably weren't like super excited by this one about the reticle. This is actually really important because there's, even in a game like World of Warcraft, it doesn't do this well. World of Warcraft actually struggles with, like, see how it goes over top of the shapes right here? World of Warcraft actually struggles with that. And sometimes it'll end up casting it like up on a wall, or it'll cast it on the wrong piece, and it'll pop it, right? So as you can see here, like the base of it stays on the ground when it's moving. And then just the pieces that are affected by the terrain move. Sometimes in games, when you go to put down an AoE, it like pops up here and then you miss everything. It's really super frustrating. And this, it looks, honestly, hand up, this looks better than World of Warcraft's reticle. And that's actually a really big deal. Anyone who's played anything where you have to AoE heal or you have to AoE DPS and like things are running and you hit a wall and it misses everything, or you place it somewhere odd, that's actually a really, really important thing. And again, it's very clean. Watch it as it goes over top of stuff. The next animation was, oh, this one's awesome, splatter. So if you didn't catch what he said, what splatter is right here. He's going to put it on one target. So right here, he's going to hit that target with a dot. Now, any dots that are on a target, a Dire Lord can use a spell called splatter, and it spreads that dot. So it's essentially an effective way to multi-dot, and it actually does all the dots. At least the way it's worded, it does all the dots on the target. So it may have synergy, which, by the way, Baz was just made a cool video about. Check that out. But it may have synergy with other people's dots. So, for example, like a Shaman can dot up enemies. A Shaman might be able to dot up an enemy, and don't quote me on this, but he might be able to spread some of those with this splatter effect to have synergy between them. Now, something that was said in the patch notes, or actually it was said as a spoiler as they showed this. So imagine if you've played a rogue in a game and you have like combat points or combo points that you've built up on something and then it dies, you have to start over again, right? So a lot of classes with the dots have this build up, and then when things die, you start back over and you have to build up. Well, they announced that with the Dire Lord, so people who are into the Dire Lord, this is really big. This is a very big spoiler, that with Mastery, you're going to be able to, so imagine this. This is, your enemies are dying. He just puts that effect on there, right? He gets it all dotted up. That mob's dying. He splatters it to the mobs. They die. Well, not just the mobs get the effect. Now the actual Dire Lord gets all the actual effects on them, which you may be thinking, well, why do I want to hurt myself? Well, because if you're going to the next pack, you're carrying all the diseases and you eliminate the need to rebuild. So or let's say like you had something CC'd, right? So let's say like there was a mob CC'd over here and you were killing over here and you got it all like, super, I'm going to go back there real quick. But let's say you got it all super dotted up. You kill one, you take it to keep all those effects and you go over and you splatter it onto the next enemy. So you instantaneously affect that target with your entire buildup like that. So that's really neat. That's something that like rogues, for example, in the past, it would be horrible. You'd use your combo points and you have to start over. So that's a really strong Dire Lord trait. And as Nefel just said, they also get resource from taking damage. So yes, the healer may be stressed a little more, but they also have self-healing. They also have another thing. So that's actually, I think it's a really, really cool thing they showed there. From there, and I put this, I take notes and I take videos and I try to do what I can with that. I'm going to go ahead and start this video over and just let it play through the animations while we talk a little bit here. But then we were kind of announced, oh no, we got in-game footage. And I know that's what everybody wants to hear. And there's probably people like, is Minus going to be critical of this? So first of all, I didn't know we were going to get in-game. I don't think anybody did. And that was pretty freaking amazing that we were going to. And when it loaded up, I was just like jaw to the ground, like, oh my God, in-game. And it looked freaking awesome. And when he was standing still, by the way, you could see everything really well. You could see everything moving, the lighting. So there was some really good pieces to take out of that. It threw me off guard. I didn't think we'd get it, but it was pretty awesome. let's be real. And yes, stream issues, guys. I'm a streamer. It happens all the time. You could prepare for it as much as you want. Things are going to happen. You have the same settings and something in Windows is messed up or needs an update. It's finicky. It sucks. But here's the thing. We might get, when the video we get is probably going to be better quality. We'll be able to check it out anytime we want. And it looks like because of it, they're going to be putting it out tomorrow. So I can't, what am I going to do? Am I complain, hit the desk and say, well, damn it. No, I'm not. My personal opinion is that it's going to happen and we're going to get something great out of it. They're going to take care of us tomorrow. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm pretty into that. So overall, what did I think of the stream? I'm curious. I really want to know what you guys think of this. Can you guys please tell me animation? This is just animations. Tell me in chat, were the animations better than you expected or worse than you expected? So put that in there because for me, the animations were better than I expected. And I think that it was mainly the one we're seeing on the screen now. When he's amping up the punches, it's really that caught me off guard and it looks really good. So again, if you think it was better, say better. If you think it's worse, say worse. I'm just curious what you guys think on that. So that's about all I got for the opening of this stream. We're going to get into the green room. Please come into the green room and chat with me. Would love to hear from you guys tonight. That would be incredible. So let me know that. I'm going to keep that running there for everybody, and I'll pop it back when it gets through the animations. So where is Minus on the stream tonight? If we would have got that in-game footage tonight, this would have been a through-the-roof stream. I'm going to put it slightly ahead of I got what I expected because the animations, in my opinion, were better, and I love the Dire Lord little tease there. The fact that we're going to get that video tomorrow is cool, so I'm excited for that. So that's where I'm going to put myself, a little bit better than what I expected. Dragon PC, thank you. And we've had a few people, Yadelin, thank you for the subscription there. Max, thank you for the follow. Mr. Risky Biscuits, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, buddy. So, okay, let's get into the green room. And I'm going to grab Drac Attack first. So, Drac, if you are ready, I'm going to bring you in to talk about what we saw tonight and what your thoughts were. So here comes Drac Attack, great community member here, pantheonblog.com. What's up, Drac? How are you tonight?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So listen, this is open. Anyone who comes in here is allowed to talk about whatever they want. So if you're super disappointed about the stream quality, this is your chance. This Pantheon PlusYou, you can say whatever you want as long as you're trying to be as family friendly as you're capable of being. But Drac, I know you're usually a pretty positive guy. What was your takeaways from tonight, and what's your overall feel right now?
So, I mean, there's just no getting around it. The animations or the stream breakdown was tough. So, as you said, that's the reason why it can't be a through the roof stream. But I thought the animations were so great. The smoothness of it, you know, all that footage before was. It just didn't look like an MMO, but those graphics look like an MMO that I could have a lot of fun with and play.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting too, because I didn't really cover the way that this was all set up. Thorndeep, thank you so much, buddy. I didn't set this up, but you know, the way that Chris explained it. Now we've heard this before. if you're somebody though that hasn't maybe hasn't so much listened to all the streams, you may have missed this. But this is super important to know what they're thinking about when they talk about animations, because a lot of people just say animations, but it's that 4-prong effect, right, Drac? So you have data, like, so the data has to be good. The animation, the visual effect. So again, when you're looking at that monk, I hate that I keep going back to the monk, but let's be honest, it was super cool. So when I go back to the monk here, like notice the white effect here. See it? When he's actually making contact. So that is the visual effect. And then we didn't really get to hear the audio effects, unfortunately. But the factor of all of those being synced up is what makes combat feel good. And it might not always, like when you're streaming a game like this, it might not always look as good as it feels. And I think almost every MMO is that way. WoW does a pretty good job because it's so over the top. But most MMOs look not as crisp as it feels. So, I mean, this looks crisp and I can't wait to see how it feels someday. So, I just wanted to throw that out there, Drac. I didn't mean to cut you off with what you're talking about, but that data, animation, visual effects, and audio effects all being synced into one on top of these is just huge.
Right, and it just looks super smooth. That's the most important part, is that it's smooth, and also it's not over the top, so it's not like super anime, super like explosions everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. You know, I think this game's trying to be centered in reality. I know it's silly, right? I think it's a fantasy game, but the game's trying to be centered in reality, like the, for example, like having armor that fits, right? Having female characters that aren't just bosoms, right? Where you get a full chest piece for a male and it's like a bikini top for a female. This game's not going to have that. The game's trying to be based in a proper fantasy lore, right? Like true fantasy. And you're right. No, and that's something I didn't think about. The animations look true fantasy. They don't look overdone, so to speak. And you can do spell effects can be as crazy as they want, but the character animations look clean. They look crisp. They look natural. And I just stole 2 things from Thorndeep, who actually said almost exactly what I just said. So, Drac, so we saw that. We got the, what was your favorite animation that you saw?
I really like the monk punching. That looks so just clean and awesome.
What about the stance? Got the hovering stance.
His foot around. Yeah, it's really cool. I like the spell casting. I'm a spellcaster, but I think the monk punching looks the best.
That's awesome. And guys, if you don't want to come on the green room, which I totally get, and if I miss some questions because we're talking, if you guys can ping at Theric. So if you ping Theric with questions, I'll bring him in towards the end if he can get in, or I'll have him shoot me some questions in Discord. So hit him up and then I'll bring him in and he can ask your questions and we'll try to answer them the best we can. So Drac, anything else before I have you rank?
I was going to say the UI sizing was really exciting for me because I'm a guy that wants to have his own custom UI. I like to size everything. I like different chat boxes for things. I like to have my own thing, my own way, and that we can shade it, that we can move it around, that we can size it is really exciting for me.
Yeah, and so I just paused the stream of like some of the footage here. It's not running, but if you guys want to see some of what Fairthale looked like, I mean, there's the UI you were talking about right on the screen. It does look clean. It does look very clean. You see the spell UI there with the active abilities versus the utility abilities there, and you have the bar on the side, if you didn't notice, is there for your other abilities and clickies and stuff like that, which is kind of neat. But yeah, it does look pretty clean. I agree with you. So what would you say? Where are you going to rank it? You said it can't be too high because you really wanted to see that. I did too. So where do you think you'd put the excitement from the stream tonight?
I'd put it just a notch above where you had it.
Okay.
Just above,
a little bit
like
above.
almost the middle of very excited. Got what I expected.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll move it up a little bit. Awesome. Hey, Drac, thanks for everything you do, buddy. And pitch your site while you're here. Everybody, get a Pantheon blog made for you, a profile. How can they do it, Drac?
I'll post the link in the chat here in a second.
Awesome. So check that link in the chat. He'll give you a way to get a profile made. He does these Pantheon profiles. He's getting the whole community to have profiles made. It's really cool. It's something fun to share. Drac, as always, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, next up, we had Nefel jump in. So Nefel, I'm going to grab you, and Lexer, you're after that. So Nefel, if you're ready, you are being drugged down now. What's up, Nefel? How are you?
Doing good, Minus. How you doing?
Doing good, man. I wanted to see the video. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to when it booted up, my jaw dropped. Like I said, I was like, we're going to see in game. We're going to like, so maybe that's why more it was like, oh, like, and I was joking.
It's your fault. You jinxed it. You totally
was.
jinxed it for everybody.
It probably was. It probably was. So what's up, Nefel? What are your thoughts on these animations? Let me jump back. I mean, what were some of your takeaways from them? What did you like about them? Were they better than you thought? Were they what you hoped for? I mean, kind of give me some rundown of that.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's better than I expected for this stage of development. I mentioned this in chat, but I think Kyle's done an amazing job on just getting all this to look really clean and smooth. Mm-hmm. It was chat was scrolling pretty fast during their stream, but one of the questions that I had asked was about animation clipping, right? Because, especially since we're looking at a healer animation, everybody knows sometimes you got to spam heals. And what does that mean when you're casting stuff back to back? And so that hurrying thing that they do, especially if it's flowing into a different spell casting animation, that's big. Yeah. That's going to look a lot more natural than having one animation like abort halfway through so that you go into the next one.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and that's 100% true too. Like especially as like a healer, right? Like when you're spam healing. Like, and they kind of show that, if I'm not like almost exactly like we were talking about, like when you look at the healing in the first part here, when they're, let me make sure I'm in the first one. Yeah, that's that one. So like when you're looking at them casting here and you're spam healing, like especially I'm a cleric, right? I play the generic, just keep healing. Like that's the class I like. I'm not a dot fan. I'm not a heal over time or AoE healing fan. I'm not a huge fan of all that. But the big thing for me is that just speed. And it looks clean, right? So if it looks clean and it feels clean and you're casting fast, it's awesome.
Yeah. And that other thing I thought was good was the spell queuing. When Joppa first mentioned that, I was a little concerned, right? Because I don't necessarily know that we want people to get in the habit of, pre-casting spells. I think that leads to maybe things that are just a little too fast. But the fact that spell queuing is actually there to kind of make up for your latency, and that the amount of queue that you have is based on your client's latency, that's a pretty cool innovation to me. Because that's taking into account that like someone might have a great connection, and the next player over might not have as great of a connection. I mean, we'll have to see it in practice, but. Yeah. I like that they're taking that into account within the client and within the within the spellcasting system. It makes it easier for people that don't have great connections to actually do like in-game raiding or any other sort of really challenging content.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying about the spell queuing thing. But yeah, I think that the latency part is a pretty innovative piece. If that's able to be mastered, that's a huge game changer for people that are, I mean, because let's be honest, you don't have to be like, it's not like a DSL versus a gig internet. That's not what we're talking here. Even sometimes just a fluctuation in speeds can be a difference for somebody, like healing and stuff like that. So that's a big deal. If they're able to figure that out and like we can see that in practice, maybe it's in other games and I've never realized it, but that seems pretty cool to me.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I have plenty of games where for whatever reason, like one day I'll be getting 150 milliseconds of latency instead of 80 milliseconds, and you can feel the difference. And so if this can help make up for that kind of thing, I think that's a win for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else? Any other takeaways from the stream?
Yeah, just two things real quick. So on the animations, I'm a fan of those monk animations, and I'm going to say this because I mained a disciple in Vanguard, and the martial arts animations were always really cool. So I'm happy to see how those flow together so well, and I'm definitely interested to see like some of the monks' special attacks and things, and I would love for monks to just look visually awesome when they're fighting. I think that would be amazing. I mean, every class should, but monks especially.
You're playing Final Fantasy 14 as well, right? Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah, I mean, how awesome do the monks look in that game?
They look all right, but the 14, like a lot of other games, they do that sort of you see your attack animate and then the enemy that you're fighting just sort of stands there and takes it. Like there's no
Yeah.
reaction.
That's true.
And that was another thing I was going to point out. Like in the video, we don't necessarily see the target character reacting to our attack. Like, you know, you see that little flash and the damage number pops up. I think the ideal for me would be to have that attack land on the target in some visible way. Like, you know, if you hit them in the torso, maybe they kind of get pushed back a little bit by it. Or if you hit them in the leg, maybe they stumble a little. But just something to make it feel a little more kinetic, make it feel like that attack is really landing.
Yeah, that's, you know what's tricky about that? It works great in a one-on-one sense, but once you have 10 people hitting the mob, that becomes pretty tricky.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Like they're getting hit by a fireball while Monk's kicking them, while Rogue's stabbing them I mean, that mob would basically just be having a seizure. So it's tough.
I can dream though, you know.
Oh, totally. Just have it. Well, just my abilities, nobody else's.
But yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention actually has nothing to do with abilities at all, but it's something that when we get that video on YouTube, I think it's going to be tomorrow for the perception system and questing.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, originally when they started talking about perception a few years ago, they were talking about how, you know, perception was going to kind of be different from questing, and, you know, you would go become a keeper like as an optional thing, you know, almost like a separate sphere of gameplay. And what's happened over the past really year as Project Fairfield has gone on is that perception has sort of taken over questing in Pantheon, from what we can tell. And so I would love to hear from Visionary Realms about what does that vision look like now? Like, has that really changed? You know, are we expecting that, you know, the vast majority of players are going to go out there and be keepers because that's just the way that questing works? And, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. I think it might be a good thing, but, you know, what does that mean for like the original vision of perception, and how should we as players be thinking about that now? I think it's worth a discussion.
Yeah, no, it's a really good discussion point. And like in the video, what'd you think about like the small thing of, so they were showing it, it was tough to see, guys, but you could tell what happened is they went up and they had a perception ping and they said a certain thing and that was it and that was done. But then you went over and you like touched a flower that you just, otherwise, like unless you looked at it or like tried to put your mouse on it, it kind of reminded me of the old point and click. Do you remember point and click games? They're my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. You just clicked on everything, right? So like you have to actually like look around and you look at this flower and it gives you like this message, like, huh? And then you walk back over and they're like, oh, you noticed that, huh? And now they start talking to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it that they can set up like a flag in that way so that the NPC behaves differently. Another reason that I love it, and I'm gonna go way back here, but I got my start online actually playing text muds.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that you could do in the text interface was you could, you know, inspect different elements of the environment. So you get the room description and you'd read that description, and then you could say like, look at the wall or look at the plant or whatever, and you might get some additional text that came up. And the best muds actually built puzzles around that, where you would have to go find these clues in your environment to figure out how to get through the door to the boss or get the treasure or whatever you were trying to do. When I saw them do this in the stream with, you know, looking at those vines, I was like, ooh, that means we can actually have some puzzle elements where maybe if you're trying to figure out how to do something, if you pay very close attention to the environment, you can pick up clues that help you figure out what to do next. And I think that's a huge leap forward for MMOs if we're really able to get that kind of thing into Pantheon.
Yeah, without a doubt. So anything else you want to say before we rank it up and kind of get your final impression on this?
No, I think I have covered everything that's on my mind tonight. So,
and we're getting the video tomorrow, guys. So let's get hyped. Listen, we thought we were going to have just tonight. We got a little bit more than we had hoped, and then we're going to get more tomorrow. So, So what do you think? Where would you rank it to what you expected versus, you know, right now the meter's a little higher than where I was. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of in line with where Drac was. I think it's a little higher than what you've got. It wasn't perfect, but you know, nothing ever is. But it was definitely a little more than what I expected, and so I'm pleased. I'm happy with this.
Awesome. And Joppa, I hate putting you on the spot here, but I see you in chat now. If you can stay with me here, Joppa, since it's going to be a video, is there any chance we could get it in like higher than a 1080p type of recording? I mean, is that possible? I mean, maybe it's not, but if we could get it in like a high res recording, like people would really love that, I'm sure. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of 4K screenshots in a while or anything like that. It doesn't need to be in full 4K, but because you're not streaming, it might be the first opportunity for us to see some in-game footage and maybe a higher resolution if it's possible. Don't mean to put you on the spot, not trying to, don't know if the game's ready to do that yet, but if it is, that would be really cool. So, no, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. Always
fun. Talk to you later.
Take it easy, man. All right, we're going to be grabbing Lexer next. Lexer knows a thing or two about stream issues. Should be fun to talk to him about. So let me go ahead and grab Lexer. You're coming in. Lexer, how's that for a setup? Lexer knows a thing or two about.
I know a tiny bit.
A little bit. We've all been there, right? I mean, what are you going to do? It's the part of the streaming life. I mean, and then we're in this COVID situation where everything's being capped and corrected way more than it's normally done. So things are acting goofy, right? So,
well, first off, I'm just going to say that in respects to the technical difficulties, they happen.
Of course.
It was not something we were expecting to get to begin with. So I don't even think the fact that it didn't turn out the way they wanted to should even be a consideration.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, and we still got to see, I mean, the game, I mean, yes. So when it was moving, it was lagging, but when it's standing still, I mean, there's some screenshots up right now. In this video, I have it on pause and you guys can kind of check out, you know, like different pieces about like the graphics look.
I mean, you say lag, I see still images that you can dissect.
Right. They're easier to capture still images. That's a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah. I don't have to slow it down and pause the video now.
Yeah. I mean, like look in the back of the picture you guys are seeing right there on screen. Like look at the shadowing on that tree in the background, like in the very far background, the Y tree. Like there were people who were afraid. I've seen some people saying like they're afraid the graphics look a little cartoony. I think it's just very vivid. Like that to me still looks fantasy-like, but not cartoony. Does that make sense, Lexer? Like what I'm trying to say? Maybe
absolutely. It's not stylized per se, but it is very vibrant in the colors that they're trying to express, which helps bring forward or to the fore what the environment is supposed to make you feel.
Now,
in that particular scene, it feels like it's supposed to be almost a jungly sort of overgrown woodland, and that's what you feel.
Yeah. And you know, like you said, it's not necessarily stylized, but to me, I like stylized. It's a nice in between. It's not super over hyper stylized, but the problem is sometimes if it's too realistic, then graphics as they continue on, as graphics cards gets better, are going to make your realistic graphics look worse and worse and worse. What looks great today realistic does not look good next year realistic. So having a bit of stylization keeps the game spirit alive, and the spirit is what makes it more beautiful. And I think that that's 100% true in a lot of MMORPGs that really style well. And again, it doesn't need to be hyper stylized, but it needs to be enough that the realism isn't what's the most important. It's how it all works together. Perfect.
Right.
TechZen just said there's a ton of depth to the graphics. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah. And an interesting thing to remember is making your graphic style stylized defines your style. Whereas if you go to real, like say photorealism, well, you can only do as good as the technology is at the current time. And then when technology gets better, people get accustomed to that, and now all of a sudden your photorealism game is no longer photorealism. You know, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep, 100%.
And when it comes to an MMO, accessibility is a big issue. You need to balance pretty graphics because everybody wants pretty, otherwise we'd all still be playing EQ and Ultima Online. But not everybody can afford to drop $500, $700, $800 plus dollars on a rig. And so you can go a little more stylized. Like this is one of the reasons why I was so successful is because of their overly stylized cartoony graphics, because it made the game way more accessible to those with high-end rigs. And given the current age, going slightly stylized is honestly one of the smartest choices to do.
Actually, a Navy Chief says my stream's lagging for them. Is it lagging for anybody else? I'm getting 0% frame rates for me dropping here. So nothing on my end appears to be dropping. So hopefully you guys aren't seeing lag. If you're getting lag, maybe hit refresh. That might just be all it is. So Lexer, let's talk about animations. We jumped kind of right in on the whole streaming side of it, but let's jump back to the animations. There was some stuff here that I'm sure you want to talk about. Let's start with the Dire Lord. What'd you think of that?
Well, the base of Splatter still works the same as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But the tidbits I find very interesting, because to me that means that I will be able to essentially chain pull.
Yep.
Very large groups.
Well, don't forget too, if we're not chain pulling, because Pantheon might not be a chain pull game, but there's gonna be times we do.
I will find a way.
Well, the other thing too is don't forget if there's a bunch of CC'd mobs, you're not infecting them. You can jump over and grab one. So.
Oh yeah, and I like to do a form of group that I call a factory group, where I have constant fights nonstop.
Okay. Listen, I'm into that too. Sign me up.
Right.
I'll be stabbing.
And the one thing that is more important to me is that the animations are very smooth. There's no stuttery transitions. There's no little tiny bits that feel like they just said, I'm tired of working on this, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Everything feels like
everything's so
they
purposeful.
Everything's
so
went
purposeful.
through. Yeah, I mean, they went through it. It really feels like they went through the animations almost frame by frame to make sure there were no little hiccups or issues that would bug you visually. Because I'm the kind of guy that if I see the same animation 700 times an hour, if I see one little thing that bugs me, it's just going to eventually grow and grow and grow. And it's going to, like EverQuest, when my character's running, my feet are sliding, and it drives me freaking nuts.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm going to tell everybody, Lex, I'm looking at Drac. Drac just said team community is super efficient. He's bringing that back up. Team minus. Guys, I told you I'm a little distracted because I'm chatting with I'm going to tell you guys what's going on right now. I'm chatting with my programmer. We are going to have some news here. When we're done with the green room, we're going to have some news. Stick around. I promise. It's cool. I really do promise it's cool. Stick around. I'm waiting for his okay. We should be here soon. So Lex, I mean, overall, the animations were probably better than you expected or what you had hoped for, at least.
At this point in its development, I would say that I would expect nothing less. I know not to expect anything ridiculous. Like I don't expect that when the monk punches the other monk, if it punches him in the face, his head flies back. I don't expect that. We don't need this. Let's spend $8 million on animations a la Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
But what I expected from VR is the professional level that I would have expected from people of that caliber, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah. It's so nice that we don't. One of the things I get, everybody says, like that they want the game now. Let's go. But when everybody signed up for this game, it was because of what they said from the Vanguard days, right? Like we're gonna make the game that we want to make, and we're not gonna let a publisher push us to where it's not where we want it to be. And I think all of us at that point understood it was going to take longer to do. And now we really want to play it. It's not a bad thing. We just really, really want to play the game. And that's totally fair. I want to play it just as much as anyone else. But like what you just said, like they're taking their time with it. They're doing it the right way. And if that's the case, then it's worth waiting for. It will be, because we're going to be playing this hopefully for so long that like,
right.
Why do we want to? Yeah.
Look at it this way. Would you rather wait 2 years for a game that's going to be something that you essentially fall in love with for possibly 10 years or more? Or would you rather them rush it? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Or would you rather them rush it and you spend 6 months and look for a new game?
Exactly. All right, man. So where would you rate it compared to like what you expected versus what we got? Where would you move that bar?
This is going to sound a little weird. I'm actually, excuse me. I'm going to put it down to, I got what I expected, but that's only because I expect nothing less.
Cool. All right. Lexer, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Team minus all day, every day.
You wish.
See you later. All right, we're gonna grab Erikai, and then we're gonna grab Cake Donut, and then we're gonna grab Yadelin. So you guys will be our last three on the show before we have a big announcement that I hope is going to hit here soon, and I will let you guys know. So Erikai, I'm grabbing you next. What's up, buddy? How you been?
Hey, man.
So what'd you think? Was the letdown of not getting to see the video tonight, even though we are going to get it tomorrow, was that a killer? Did that crush you, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I actually didn't catch the whole stream. I'm mostly basing what I have to say on your
videos
recap.
Okay.
I did catch part of it when the video was failing, and when they said that we're going to get the rest of it, or we got the video tomorrow, no big deal.
Yeah.
It's not kind of a deal breaker or anything.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think getting that tomorrow is good. Guys, we will definitely have that announcement coming up shortly. Eric, sorry, I'm no longer distracted. The announcement's coming. It is good. We are ready to go. We are going to be able to announce something tonight. We've been looking to announce since last year. So I'm very excited for that. So sorry to throw you off there a little bit. But the animations, you're seeing them on screen then, like in this show, a little bit more than you saw them. Have you got to catch like the visuals that we've had up on the screen for these?
Yeah, I've been able to watch those. They look pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. They look smooth. I like how they flow into the other. They just look good. I'm
very natural. Awesome. Anything else from the stream? Anything else in general? I mean, how you been, man? I haven't talked to you in a bit. Like, what are you feeling right now? We got the pre-alpha announcement like last week-ish that it's coming, by the end of summer here. I mean, how are you feeling about everything with it? I mean, I know you follow this game a lot. You're just like me. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, unless I'm mistaken, didn't Ben say at the very end of the stream that Pre-Alpha 5 would start in the summer? I think he dropped that little tidbit at the end. So
you got to listen to
unless
those
I
words,
misheard.
Right? Yeah, no, listen. They're usually pretty, especially Ben. They're usually pretty precise with what they said. Yeah, so Theric just said, yep, summer. Everybody heard summer. So good pickup there. I did not catch that.
Yeah, so I think if it weren't for that, I'd be really disappointed because I just feel like this is way too polished for a pre-alpha, and it's starting to really irritate me. Like, it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that it looks good, but no other game looks this good in pre-alpha. And I just want to say, get on with it. Like, let's go. I've never seen a game this polished in a pre-alpha state. And so if it weren't for that, knowing that pre-alpha 5 is coming soon, then this would really irritate me. But so I even voted very excited on your poll.
Awesome.
But it was still like, I pretty much got what I was expecting.
Okay. So leave the meter
just
pretty much
more
where
polish,
it's at.
Less.
You just want to you just want to see the game. You want to see people testing. You want to hear about updates. You just like let people play. Let the testers test whoever they may be, like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I want testing to happen because to me that shows forward progress instead of just, hey, here's some new visuals. Like, to me that doesn't tell me that the game is making any.
There's one thing
progress.
I've noticed in chat. I'm curious what you think about this. They seem to hold a ton to their chest. Like they're showing us these animations. I wouldn't be surprised if these animations have been around for a while. Like, sometimes I feel like we're getting stuff that they're showing us. We're like, oh, look, they're moving along. But this is stuff they're like, yeah, we've had this. We're just showing it. Like, I feel like they're way ahead on a lot of things than we think they are. And it kind of comes to like the zone crafting, for example. Like, we saw in the patch notes, like the last month's newsletter patch notes, like they were talking about like all the places being set and like all the zones connecting. And we're like, wait a second, what? Like that one zone was done already. And we're like, wait, we didn't even hear that. I feel like there's so much going on behind the scenes. And like, did you ever think that maybe Fairtale's like this carrot they're dangling out in front of us? Like, look here, don't look over here, and don't look over here, but Fairtale's coming. And like you kind of said, like they're way ahead of where a pre-alpha should be. I'm interested. I think there's going to be a moment where that has to drop on us, right? Like where the catch-up has to drop. And I'm curious to see if that happens. So.
Yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, they showed us the Tower of the Reckless Magician, and that zone appeared to be essentially complete, right? And that
Yeah.
was a couple of years ago. So you have to wonder how much they have complete that they're just not showing us, which is fine. I think that's smart of them to do, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel that way when you think
Yeah.
about how long it's been between pre-alpha 4 and 5, you know.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I do. And I think people are scared of pre-alpha 6, not because there may be a need for a pre-alpha 6, so to speak, but just like, okay, if there is a pre-alpha 6, is it going to be as long? Like how long is it going to be in between? I don't think anyone's opposed to there being another pre-alpha if it's like, 2 months later, we're going to do another pre-alpha, or a month later, we're going to do another pre-alpha. Like, but if it's a long time, then I think that's what people are afraid of with there being more pre-alphas versus going to alpha. So it'll be really interesting. It's really going to, I think whenever that happens and pre-alpha 5 happens, like how everything works is going to be a big tell to how close we are to alpha. If everything's smooth and they're figuring out the bug reports and people are really doing a good job, whoever's testing, then like that's probably going to get us a lot closer to alpha. Now, if there's a bunch of problems with it, there's going to be another pre-alpha. That has to be. So it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to kind of dig through and be very hypothetical about.
I personally am not expecting a pre-alpha 6. And even if there is, I think you're right. I think it will probably be not nearly as long as this wait has been. But I just think I think a pre-alpha 6 would be very bad for PR. I just don't. I don't see them doing it. But if they do, whatever they do, I'm still a pledger. I'm still along for the ride. But
I hear you there, man. I hear you. Well, Eric, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
All
Talk to you later.
Take it easy. All right, Cake Donut, we're pulling you in next for a quick chat here. Theric, I want you to be on. Can you be on chat, Theric, when I make the announcement? I'd like you to do that with me. I think that'd be cool. So if you're around, jump into green room and I'll pull you in after Yadelin. So Cake Donut, I'm grabbing you, and then after that it'll be Yadelin. What's up, Cake? How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. What did you think of the stream? I mean, aside from some of the errors.
I agree a lot with who was it? Neff. They said they like the monk fluid like animation and stuff like that. I was mainly more excited about the reticle just because I played a warrior and heroic leap and WoW for this huge pain.
Oh, dude, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I didn't even think of that spell, but yes, perfect way to put that. Perfect. So you guys are seeing the reticle that he's talking about on the stream right now. This is how smooth it is that you don't lose or you don't get snap issues with your reticle where you're all of a sudden casted somewhere you didn't mean to. So that kind of stuff. So good stuff. So
yeah. And I was wondering if that would cause like it has a lot of those line of sight issues that sometimes come with that exact same thing. Would that maybe we won't have that as much? Maybe. So I'm kind of optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, awesome. So what else? I mean, I'm excited for the video tomorrow. I definitely am. I think that's going to be really cool. It's cool that they're putting it out so fast and they're going to prioritize it. So that's really exciting. So
yeah, I almost don't even want to rate this because we were supposed to get the video and it's we're getting it tomorrow. So I'm excited either way.
Yeah, rate it tomorrow. You will have an addendum, amendum. I can't say that word ever in my whole life. I've never been able to say that. Surprise. Minus can't say a word. But yeah, tomorrow will kind of be the finishing touch on what the real thoughts of all this was. So, So the other thing too here, they were talking about how at the end, Ben Dean was talking about a new website coming. Was that a tease? Was he busting on himself there? Or is that that was kind of out of nowhere? Everyone's been asking for a new website for ages. So.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if it was a tease or he was just busting or if it is coming. That's interesting. That is an interesting.
Yeah. Website.
All right. So anything else, Cake?
No, I just really wanted to reiterate that reticle thing. I'm super excited about that. That is a
big deal. I think there's a lot of people that's passing over, but when you're playing the game, you're going to appreciate that a lot. If it's somebody who's sitting there who cares? It's going to matter. It's going to matter.
Yeah, it's one of those small things that it's going to feel real nice if you don't ever have to have the aggravation it can come with. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Mr. Cake, thank you. I appreciate you jumping in, man, and holding on there till the end. So much thanks.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Take it easy. All right, we're going to grab Yaladin. Yaladin, you're up next, and then Theric, we're going to come in. We're going to make an announcement I'm excited for. So, Yaladin, what's up, man? How are you?
What is up, man?
Long time no talk. Other than the fact that we talked a little bit today in private messages, but before that, long time no talk. How you been?
I know, man. There should be like fireworks. Anytime there's an elf wizard in the zone, you should have fireworks. Elven wine should flow. DPS is going up. You're gonna get ports and wizard.
Well, I got to tell you, it's probably Theric's fault that he didn't have this all prepped. So
it's great seeing you again, man. I know it's been a while, but I'm excited. I watch your streams all the time. I just never have a chance to jump in because of my.
I appreciate that, man. Awesome. Did you enjoy the stream? Did you like the animations and stuff tonight? What do you think?
I did enjoy him. I just have a little bit of insight in it of what I think. I think it's I hope they don't focus so much just on the offensive.
Good call. Good call.
And add a little more to the defense animations. Earlier, Neff was mentioning, hit it right there. You don't want to in Lecture too. You want to spend so many resources on watching somebody get hit in the face every time a punch is thrown. But you could make something creative where maybe like in a particular cycle of time of combat, you can add some kind of maybe the critical. Whoever landed the biggest critical for that particular cycle gets an animation where the mob might react based on whatever the spell was, or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a chaotic thing if too much is going on, but yeah, maybe like some tank animation, like maybe you don't do it as much for range classes, but like maybe for like physical classes, it's tough still because like if you had a full group of monks and then like a rogue and a warrior, that dude just going to be bounced all over, and it would kind of end up looking more silly than cool. It's tough. That's really tough. That's a really tough thing to do. Unless they found a way to just make it so you only saw the animations of your attacks, which would be weird. I don't know if that's possible though. So
yeah, it's a tough one. I say maybe just with the criticals, perhaps. So keep it light. Or a variation of them, but it's tough. Other than that, it's smooth, and I think it's like at some early stages, they have a lot of time to still work on.
Yeah, there's tons of time, and there's probably stuff again we're not seeing, and they're implementing these things in this new system very quick. That it can't be overstated that this new system, the node system, the new networking layer being removed, from the way that they implement different things into the game, that's very big. Because if it's working, like I had asked the question, I wish they had time to answer, was like, how was the Dire Lord, putting it in, right? Like, because they added the Dire Lord completely into the new node system. I was really curious if it worked as they intended, like it was really good and it was really smooth, or if it was something where like they wanted, maybe they learned some stuff or it was quicker than they thought. I was really curious about that. So good stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. And remember, you got people working on teams. There's direction and everything else, but sometimes you might not see the results until 2-3 weeks later, where somebody coordinates that or how it goes into the world, and you might have some unintended side effects on something that's positive. So that's always.
Well, man, it was good talking with you. Thanks for reaching back out this morning and chatting a little bit, and thanks for stopping by the stream tonight, man. I really appreciate it.
Minos, that was a pleasure, man. Just fireworks ready for the next time, man.
Definitely. It's all on Theric. If he doesn't do it, listen, we'll have to fire him. So
take care, man.
Thanks, man. Take it easy. All right, Theric, I'm bringing you in.
Oh, man.
Theric. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. I'm doing well. How are you? Excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So, guys, we have some news to announce. You just want to do this? Let's do this.
Good, man. Yeah.
All right, so guys, you're going to have to bear with me on screen here because I'm doing this live and didn't intend to. Well, I'd hoped we were able to. But I'm going to try to fit this properly. So give me 1 second here. I'm actually going to do a screen cap and just throw this all up over top everything. So I hope you guys are able to check this out, get a little interactive here, but let me unlock this. Reset the transformation. Give me a second, guys. It's a little unexpected again. Okay, so there we go.
It'll be worth it. Trust me. I know what we're doing here. It'll be worth it.
How do you know? We're talking about showing off your baby pictures here.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Oh,
yeah. Okay, guys, so here we go. I can still see the chat. It's not up on screen, but I can see the chat. So you guys can still throw stuff in there and if you have questions and stuff. So it is interesting. I was given my developer Poiru, who some of you know, some of you don't. He's chatted with some of the Pantheon Discord quite a bit, but not, he's kind of a behind the scenes guy. So you can join our Discord. If you see on the screen there, I just put a link in. So here we go. If you type www.pantheon.plus, I'm excited to announce that our custom website is fully live. Everybody should be able to get to it. You are able to sign up and register. I would ask you guys to please understand that some of your email, like validations and authorizations, may take a minute. We just put it on a brand new server. It is probably going to have bugs. So let me show you guys around a little bit to like kind of talk about what you can do. The other thing too is there's going to be so many more features coming. This is really sort of the start of what we hope to be something amazing. So let me go around and just show you guys some quick things. So the way this site works, the top is going to be like a news header. There's nothing crazy here. It's just a couple work in progress and something about the class page, which I'll show you in a second. Now this site is 100% custom code. Some of you guys may say, well, why? The big thing is that it's, my browser up here. That's funny. You guys can see my favorites. Let me actually fix that. Hold on. I want to have my
Pantheon sites.
All my special things. All right, so there we go. Okay, so what you have here is a couple things. So this main page, these buttons are gonna go around. Here's what you're gonna see on the main page. You're gonna see what we believe to be, in my opinion, the best content creators, the most reputable people within the community, people that we're very close to. This is not a knock on anybody, but we wanted to start with who we believe are the most like consistent, reputable people in the community. So first, it's our site, right? So we have ourselves here, and we'll get into this a bit more. But if you click here, you'll be able to see some of the VR content as well. So anything they post, you'll be able to see. We made links to the website for them. All their different stuff is here. Pledge. So you can go right to the pledge page. That's all on their page and nothing. We're not affiliated with them. The other thing too is if you click, you can get this slide effect. See Basgrim, who we've always been big supporters of, that we're fans of. Nathan, this is all Pantheon content, by the way, guys. So if we make content that's not Pantheon related, it's usually not here. And then we have a community one where we're it's kind of a mixture of some of the people who do Pantheon content, but maybe do other content as well. So, just as an example, Voices of Terminus, they're in here. They've been on break a little bit. Battle Axe Theater, Micah, Chris, and we're looking to grow and grow and grow. And then maybe we branch people off into main areas. But essentially, this is a quick way to get all the news that you want in Pantheon. Now, within this, what was really important and why we wanted to make a custom site is because we wanted, community matters is why we're here, right? So the whole reason that we are here trying to be Pantheon Plus is because of community matters. If you don't believe that, you just don't know us. That's honestly what's most important. So what we wanted to do is we needed to have a site where you could have any type of media. You could have, videos. Pretty soon we're going to have a way to submit articles with full pictures, like the same way, like if Drac put out a blog, he could put a blog out on our site and he could link it to his page. You guys can submit different articles and you're going to be able to do all the functionality you see on our site the same way. So for example, if you were looking at the Pantheon development video here and you click here, I'm clicking in the, in the OBS, you guys will see this here. Every single piece of media that we have. So let me go ahead and up here, I can log in. Okay. If I click here, I can now comment on this video. So I can put title and I can, do all my text editing. So I can go in and I can post that. And there's a problem saving my post. Poirot. Okay. But anyway, we'll check that. Again, there's going to be bugs, so don't worry about that. But everything is going to be able to be commented on. Everything can be voted on. Oh, it's because I may not be properly logged in. I bet you guys that my account is not set up as a admin. So we'll get that fixed. But let's try to test it one more time. Again, guys, please know I pushed this. That might be a bug. Yeah, so we'll get that fixed. But basically, you're going to be able to comment. We'll have that fixed tonight. You'll be able to comment on any post directly in the post, okay? And you'll be able to vote on them as well. Let me ping him over. You've done a little bit of this there. Can you give anybody any kind of comments on that?
Yeah, no, it's such a cool cool site. It's very different. It's very unique, and it's very easy to use. Like the scrolling through the videos, the side to side scrolling is really works really well. I use mostly all my browsing is basically on my iPad, right? So I'm on Safari on iOS or Chrome sometimes, but mostly Safari, and it works flawlessly. Like if you're like mostly on your phone or on your iPad or whatever, it works just as well as the desktop, and that's like something that was not that long ago, wasn't working that well, and now it is. So it's like I was super stoked to hear that yesterday or day before, whatever it was.
Yeah. So again, all the different stuff will be coming on. What he was saying is, see how this slides? So you'll have the most concurrent videos here to like time area. So you'll see that that can work there. And we're going to get to some of the other pages, so stick around. There's a couple more cool things here. So again, you'll be able to comment in every single video, vote on any piece of content on the site. That's all here. Now, I want to show you something else really important, because this is what ties everything together quite a bit. If you are researching Pantheon and you are a Paladin fan, like Lexer, who loves Paladins, you can come up here and type the word Paladin, and you will get every piece of content on the site. Now, once we have articles, you're going to be able to do articles. Once we have pictures in media and stuff like that that people submit, when we eventually have guides, we're actually going to have guides that you can write for the game and share and vote and comment on. And you type Paladin guide, they'll bring them all up. So you can literally search the database of all this different stuff that we've collaborated with the different content creators over the last forever. And actually right from here, you can pull a video up. So if you want to pull the video up and watch from here, you can lightbox it, you can check it out. You know, you can go right through the video, and then you can come back and you can comment on it right there, which is pretty cool. So it's very interactive. You'll see the amount of comments. You'll see the thumbs up, thumbs down. So we really want to bring community together. You'll be able to pull up, again, any content there. So, Theric, anything on that? That's probably what I used.
The tagging is great. There's so much stuff in it. The way you went through it so meticulously and tagged everything for anything it could relate to is pretty incredible. I don't know if you're going to show the classes or the races page,
I am, yeah.
That shows it off really, really well.
Yeah, so let's go into, we'll do races first, and then we'll jump into classes. So, and keep in mind, this is like a beta soft launch, right? And Poiru was watching, by the way, and I went over to chat with him, and I'm like, hey, Theric, what do you think? And jumped over to tell him, hey, this isn't working. And he's just laughing at me. So just so you guys know, it was just LOL, I saw that. So he's already making fun of me, which is fantastic. Okay, but so let's go into races. So these are going to expand over time, right? So this is your available races pages that you guys can see here. It actually works really nice on mobile, as he said, tablet, on your phone. We try to design the site to work like an app, if that makes any sense. So here you'll see the available classes are listed here. It looks like we have a little bit of a formatting issue here. And I'm going to show you guys, you're actually going to be able to report bugs to us. So and all this stuff wasn't bugs, but we had to move the site over from a beta, and it's really just fixing some. But you'll have like available classes listed here. We'll have the racial passives, we'll have actives, and then these are just videos for the archive. So these are all videos that include something about the archive if you want to learn more about your favorite race, for example. And just like you can see at the top here, you can scroll through, and they're kind of all the same. So it looks like some of them are fine, so it's interesting. It might just be formatting. But so as you can see, it kind of goes through. Then when you go to the different class pages, you can either get to it from the menu here. You can just go to classes, races. You can go back to the main page by clicking the Pantheon Plus, or in here, you can just click. So if you're a Scar and you want to be a monk, you can click, and it kind of has synergy to take it right back. Okay, so and that'll take you right to the monk. Now, what's really important about this page is, guys, we don't have any secret information. So we don't know all the spells. What we have pulled right now are the website, and we could have went back and done like the warrior stream, but remember, they changed all the down ranking. So the only class that we feel is really close to up to date is the Shaman, because we went through the Shaman stream, and this is stuff we're going to do, and you guys can take part in it too. But we went back through the Shaman stream. We clipped out different abilities. We freeze framed stuff when they highlighted abilities. So like Chrono Burn, we took exactly what it said in the game. You know, that we added in some different things. There's some spells that changed names from the website. And there's some that are on the website here that we're not sure what it is. So you can see right here, like it says website. So these question marks are ones that we're not going to guarantee are there, but they're on the website. And at the top, you can see that we've listed, this is super important. We've listed action abilities, utility abilities, and passive abilities, right? Don't take our word for what's action and utility. We're just guessing right now. A lot of debate can be had over that, but we're basically building a spell database that's going to be able to be used. So when you guys are, Stands in Fire says, registered, commented, and sent my first bug report. I love it. But you're going to actually be able to use our spell database across different sites. Like we're going to enable you guys to be able to use some of our assets. So like people who are making other sites can use our spell database. We're going to do a lot for community because we want to help create more creators, create more sites. That's what we've always been about. And when you create a guide, you'll be able to use like our logos and stuff to actually put in the guide and create it on the site. So again, we're not there yet, but that's a lot of what we're working on, and it's pretty cool. So you can kind of go through, you can like get a little bit more in depth on the races and classes. We got some custom art drawn. We may do more custom art. So it's not always just going to be Pantheon. Like this is a custom art that was drawn for Rogue from a community member. Actually, it's pretty freaking awesome. So this is kind of what the class page will look like here. There's more coming for like your profile and stuff like that. You guys can see if I log out and log in. Oh, look, they took my logo away. So it's possible that he's working on the site. So there it is. So you'll have like, we're going to have a way to have your own logos on the site. You're going to be able to do your own stuff. We're going to have a forum, basic forum eventually. But yeah, Poiru kicked butt on this site. So again, guys, wait, we have comments already? Look at this. Okay, so I just don't have access.
Stands in the Fire.
Yeah, Stands in Fire, Drac.
There he
Look
is.
at that. Yep. So
Real-time commenting.
Can I vote now? No, I can't.
Drac.
I'm locked out. But these guys
the
are good.
community has started building. The community is forming.
You guys are ahead of me, so my admin rights have been revoked, it appears. Which is awesome. Yeah. Mr. Cake Donut says Minus doesn't have access to his own site. So you guys can check this out, Pantheon.plus. Give it time for the activation email to come through. Please, any bug reports you see, suggestions, anything you want, hit this, contact us. Questions, bug reports, suggestions, what you want to see. You want to help with something. You want to put your stuff up on the site. Whatever you want to do, contact us. And do it through that link. It goes to a support email that a bunch of us have, access for. And you guys will be able to, like I said, we can build community right on here. It's awesome. I'm wondering let me do a hard refresh. This is what I always see. Hard reload. There we go. Let's see if I can do stuff now. No, he took my rights away. I'm pretty sure that was a trick. I'm pretty sure. But like I said, guys, if it's Pantheon content, we're gonna have it here. And we've always done that in the past, and we haven't updated the old Pantheon Plus website since like December. So I apologize, but it's good stuff, guys. So check it out. Let us know what you think. We hope we can build community here for you guys to create guides, like I said, to create articles, forum to discuss things. Much more coming. I promise we have a lot coming. And with the site being ready and now us being able to just focus on tools and focus on add-ins and programming, it's so much easier. So I hope you guys are excited as me. We've been working on this since October. Wow. Yeah, I think since October, just really, because we didn't want to short anything. Like we could have gone and stole this and stole that and used this or use these tools or buy a tool set. But having our own custom stuff, like it's just going to mean the world whenever we start doing everything else that we want to do and continuing to build community. So I hope you guys like the site. I hope you'll check it out. Comment on videos, vote up, search for your favorite topics. Let us know what we should do. If you see a content creator out there that you think we need to add, let us know. We'll reach out to them. But much more to come with this. And we're excited to finally let the world try it out. And please send those bug reports in. So bug report number, wait, hold on, watch this. Let's do my first bug report. Contact us. Where are my admin rights? WTF, Poiru.
Bug reporting rights too.
Yeah.
In case you haven't, yeah.
WTF. I can't vote. My email, disgruntled minus at Pantheon.plus. Yeah, worst site ever. Worst site ever. I'm streaming this, man. Yeah. So, all right, so we're gonna send that off and that'll go to the support email, which should be pretty fun. But that's it, guys. So I was hoping to get this out tonight, and listen, super props to Poiru. Remember, this is again an under construction site at the moment. So bear with us as we continue to push through and learn what you guys are doing, learn what you guys want to see more of, features you'd want to do, and we're going to be rolling out more and more. So your message has been sent. Yeah. So it's great. So again, guys, hopefully you enjoy the site. Hopefully you can find the content on there. Theric, anything to say before we go? What'd you think of the stream?
Well, I don't want to take up too much time. We're already gone late. It was a great stream. I thought it was fine. Did anybody else notice that deer wandering around in the background? Because that deer was friggin' awesome. I don't know if anybody else saw. I know Thorny
There was a
saw
deer
it,
running around.
there
in
was
the
a
background?
deer in the background. I don't know. We'll see it on the YouTube video tomorrow. I'm just putting that out there. So
Okay.
that was the only comment I had.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks as always to VR for doing what they do. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you to everybody who followed, subscribed, shouted out, was in the chat. The chat was awesome tonight. We hope we see you guys next week for Pantheon PlusYou. And if you guys didn't know, we do have a few other different content pieces we do for Pantheon and just some other stuff. If you type !schedule in any of our stuff, you'll see there. So we do our Pantheon Plus rewind on Discord. I'm sorry, on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube on Sundays. Tuesday, we have a new show called Rank 'em that you guys actually get to pick the topics. We did best MMORPGs last week. This week, we're going to be doing best MMORPG loot. And then we have, obviously, Pantheon PlusYou, which is our favorite, which is where you guys are now. So, voting results. Yeah, so Shadestomp's like, hey, talk about the voting results. So we had 26 people vote. Average was the winner with 57. Not only 2 people were unhappy, even with all the errors. That's not bad, Derek.
Yeah, no, that's a good result.
Yeah. So guys,
I'm fine with that.
Crash the website, send in your bug reports. I think it's hilarious. I'm pretty sure my admin rights and all my account rights aren't on, which is funny. But yeah, send it in.
That site launch, man. I know how excited you are about that site. And I know we all are, but you especially. Just a quick grats to you because you work so hard for that stuff. So
to be honest with you guys, I worked hard, but nobody worked harder than Poiru. And I just wish someday we're gonna get him on stream, even if it's just by voice to kind of talk about some stuff. Because that guy worked his butt off on this and he doesn't sleep. He's constantly working. He's either working on our site or working on his company. So it's really, me and him have battled, guys, and we drew pictures of what we wanted and the pictures are there. Like, that's how much we wouldn't settle. The concept art of what we drew for this site, not knowing how to do it, like how are we going to do this, became a reality. So anything we think we want to do, we can. So if you guys have really crazy ideas, like this would be awesome if you had this on the site, just let us know because we might be able to do it. And then, obviously all the stuff we want to do as well. But yeah, it's exciting. I didn't want to overshadow the dev stream, but with whatever happened, I was like, hey, let's get this out tonight. So
yeah, big deal.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you have any bug reports on there, please do comment on videos, get the community going, vote on your favorites. We'll usually have videos up pretty quick. So if you check it, it usually will have the most up-to-date content because it is so easy to add videos. It takes like literally nothing. So, all right, guys, thank you. And Derek, thank you for the ride, helping out and everything. So we'll see you guys for Valor pre-alpha streaming this weekend. We're going to be doing quite a bit of that. And on Sunday, we'll talk to you on Pantheon Plus Rewind. So thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm on cloud 9. I'm really excited. I'm talking fast. I'm all like, I love it. I'm curious to see what you guys do on the site there and how it works out. And if you're searching for videos you like, and pretty soon we're going to have like the most popular videos or the most recently commented on videos or the most recently, voted on videos. We'll have like maybe the first 3 at the top above like the content creators. So you can see what people are talking about as well, which is pretty nice. So, but yeah, man. All right, guys, take it easy. Thank you very much.
Pantheon.